and welcome to Where Women Talk. I'm Nadia Giordana. My guest today, Gloria Vandemmeltraadt, is an expert at preserving family stories for hospice patients. She also teaches people how to write memoirs and preserve other family memories. Let's go talk to Gloria and see what she has to share with us today. Welcome to the show, Gloria.
Thank you so much, Nadia. I'm delighted to be here today.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to come today. And you know, I know a little bit about a lot of the things that you do, preserving family memories and working in hospice. What would you most like to talk with me about today?
Well, I think the one thing these days that I am most passionate about is capturing your memories. I do, as you mentioned, I am a hospice volunteer, and I work with patients capturing their stories. I record their stories, asking them questions about their lives, and then I write them into a little book about their life, or like a story. And it is so important. And I've been doing this about 10 years actually, and seeing the looks on the faces of family when they get these memories, these little stories, is so priceless that it has become more and more of a passion for me, because I see how important it is to remember those memories from long ago that no one else knows.
You know, that is so important. And my mother just passed this year, and I am so grateful that we captured a lot of video with her cooking. We did a little mini television program, and she was just delightful. She took to it, and she was a star, and she talked about her just like a real television show. And
how wonderful.
Yeah, it's just so great. And I can turn to that. And so there's so many different ways that people and families can preserve that's special to them. And can you give some
exactly right
ways that families can do that?
We can video, we can record vocally, just audio tapes. We can write it down. I have to say, my real desire is for writing it down. That booklet, once it's put away, will be there forever. It won't change. And unfortunately, technology changes rapidly, and we just don't know. And sometimes we're not able to change an older audio tape, perhaps, into a DVD that we use now. But how long are we going to have DVDs? We don't know that either. But that printed word is going to be there forever. There are lots of different ways to do it. There are booklets out there now saying, with questions, things like, tell me about losing your first tooth, or were you ever in a parade? Did you ever get gum in your hair? But the problem with those little booklets, unfortunately, right now, the secondhand stores are full of them because people don't do it. They won't fill it out. What we need to do is have conversations with our parents, our grandparents, and ask them those questions so that they can get our feedback. And when we have conversations about it, that information just pours out of them. It's wonderful. So what I do when I do my hospice stories and other stories for people is to record that. I just have a little recorder, face to face, eye to eye, asking them questions, and they are just thrilled to tell the answers to those little type of questions. And so that works.
I think it would, and I'll bet once you start asking one or two questions, it opens the floodgates.
It leads to more. I ask a lot of questions about their memories of their parents and grandparents. Those are memories that we don't have of our parents and grandparents. We don't remember those. Their earliest memories. And I get some wonderful stories about that. And they are absolutely priceless to families. I've written a little book actually called Capturing Your Story. And it's writing a memoir step by step. And I do that. I teach a couple of classes through community ed about this information, trying to help people talk to their parents and grandparents and capture that information before it's too late. Because I hear so often from people, I wish I had asked my mother that. You know, I don't know the answer to, or don't know much about her young life. I wish I had asked her about that. And that's what I'm hoping that people will do as a result of this little program, as a result of talking to them, visiting them, spend time with your parents and grandparents and try to capture those special memories. It'll be precious to all of you.
Wouldn't you say that if you were writing down these pieces and these memories and these stories, it's less important about how good a writer you are, because what's most important is that story? Forget about whether or not you're an eloquent writer or whether there are some misspellings. Someone else can clean that up later if you put it in.
Exactly. Nadia, that is just a terrific point of view to bring to this program. It doesn't matter whether you're a good writer, just write down what they say, write down their answers to those questions. It can be cleaned up later if you want it, and it doesn't have to be. It's in their words. That's what the important thing is. You're getting their memories and the way they want to talk about it. And that is so precious to families.
Yeah, yeah. And if you do decide to put it into book form or some other final form, what are some of the things that people do?
What are some things to do about that? You can write it down. It doesn't matter what order it is, because with computers now, hopefully you'll use a computer to write it down. You can move big chunks of text all over. So just capturing it, getting it written down is what is really, really important. Again, as Nadia brought up, you brought up, Nadia, writing it perfectly is not important. It's a matter of capturing those memories for your family, because they're just so priceless, so priceless. In writing it down, I have different ways. In my little booklet, I have different ways of capturing the memories, the stories, and putting them down. It's important to remember that we need to write about feelings, not just what happened. I know my mother was a diary keeper, and journaling and diarying is very, very important. Capturing what you did and how you felt about it. What were the results of it? What was the consequence of something you did or felt, or a place you went to, something like that.
And photographs is another area that, we keep photographs all our lives, but making a point of taking a few extra photographs is an important thing too, I think, don't you?
Absolutely. We go through your family photographs, look at the ones where you have gatherings, and one photograph could be the basis of a whole book, actually. In looking at it, deciding who was there, who was not there might be very important. What were they wearing? What kind of a day was it? What was the celebration, or what was the reason for the gathering? Can lead to lots of implications for the story and lots of other memories. Photographs are prime, absolute wonderful ways to capture memories.
They definitely are. And then another thing I think of when I talk about, or when I think about preserving things, are some of and my preference is the little keepsakes, the tiny little things. If you look in a box in your mother's or grandmother's drawer in her dresser, or box that used to be in her dresser. There's lots of tiny little things in there. And I have several things from my mother's box. I don't know what the story is to them.
Right, right. What a shame. That's a really good point. There might be a little stone, a tiny cross, or a nail, or something in there that was precious to her. For what reason, we don't know, and we'd love to find out. So that's a good thing to do. Get that little box out and go through it with her. Or her jewelry, that's another good thing. Jewelry is something. Or in the case of a man, a grandparent or father, his tools might be something to go through. And again, men too keep precious things. So maybe old cards, greeting cards, birthday cards from someone special might bring a memory to them that they would love to share. And we would love to know about.
Oh, that's so great. And that's good advice. And Gloria, thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate you sharing this information, because I know firsthand how important it is to preserve these memories. And I think our audience will appreciate that too.
Thank you so much, Nadia. I really do appreciate helping to get that message out. As we know, it's a passion of mine, and I'm hoping to make it a passion of lots of other folks.
We'll talk to you again another time.
All right. Thanks again.
You see what I mean? Gloria had a lot of interesting and valuable information to share with us today. I learned a few important things. Thank you for watching the show today, and we'll see you next time on Where Women Talk.